Alright, so we ready?
Yeah.
Jesse's on his shit.
We'll see that the one that we're looking at on the screen.
This-
That's
yeah.
Let's get this rolling.
Alright,
When one of my batteries goes on one of my lights, I'll just change it real quick.
bet.
Alright, sounds good.
You're gonna give a little countdown bullshit?
No.
Alright, bet.
This is it right here.
Yeah!
What the fuck is up, everybody?
Wait, Kyron's gonna do this. Gotta come in.
Oh, yeah, Kyron's gonna come in with the...
Yeah!
We are live at 5.
Live at 5.
This copy fucking sucks.
Oh shit. Are you gonna say it on camera? I'm fucking...
Alright, hey, what's up, everybody? This is the return of the Scratcast. I guess it's going to be the
Yeah.
start of Season 3 now that we have a new addition, which is having guests on the podcast.
Yes.
And our first guest, as you'll probably be able to see on the screen here, is the one-man army himself from Chernobyl Studios, Mr. Scott Elliot.
It's hanging, guys.
Yeah!
Dang.
Yeah, we've been talking about
It only
doing this for a
took-
long time.
A year, and there goes light number 1. Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah, we've been talking about
This
doing
is
this
the
for a
more
long
important
time.
one.
And we're stoked to have you on as our first guest that we've ever had on the show.
Well,
Yeah,
just
hopefully
dream
I
over.
can make it and survive, because you guys are pretty brutal.
I mean, we're all right. We're gonna try and keep it on track as we possibly can.
we're gonna stay PG with it. Everybody's not too fucked up. So
Shut up, bitch.
He just said PG and you just said fuck.
Exactly.
Oh.
I thought this was a Scratcast.
Wait, we can't say fuck. Whoops.
Oh, fuck.
You know,
Sorry.
this is the thing, in the 80s, it was PG with films that had full nudity and swearing.
Oh, dude, that was
So,
crazy.
technically, you're not wrong.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So we're just 80s PG.
Sure, 80s PG.
Yeah, there you go.
80s PG.
Okay, so Scott, as our first guest, I guess it's kind of weird it's a weird time for us because it's about 4 p.m. in the afternoon right now, and we normally do this from like midnight to like 2 in the morning. But you live in Ukraine. What time is it there for you right
It's
now?
gonna be midnight in 4 minutes.
God.
That's so crazy.
Nice. He's living in the good hours right
I
now.
know, time to have a podcast and pretend that it's like super late and get all hammered and you're like,
Yeah.
I gotta be responsible the second half of the day, I guess. Can't really let it go too long.
Jake.
But you know, you could always, like, we could clip this part and then you could do another cast later so you guys could get hammered.
Yeah, there you go.
So you know how it is.
So,
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, let's do
the
episode
magic
2
of
later.
video editing.
We'll do the episode, what was it, part 2?
Episode 1 and a
Finish
half.
night?
Yeah, there you go.
What are we
Episode 1.
actually doing?
Episode 1.2. We're absolutely
Yeah,
smashed.
this is behind the scenes where we have a full 5 minutes of coherent talk.
Jesse's just passed out on the ground.
Wheezing.
Wheeze.
Right.
Josh is standing in the
So that's the
corner
room where you record everything, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the place. You know, the little
Yeah, this is
amps
the
back there.
studio.
Cool.
There's the legendary orange right there in the back.
This isn't the scrap room,
I
but
see
this is the
that.
practice room.
Yeah, this isn't our normal podcast room. We normally do the podcast at Josh's house, where we had a big room and the big table and everything like that. But he has a new roommate who has taken that room.
He's our bass player.
Yeah, our new bass player lives with Josh now in that room where we do our podcast.
Yeah.
His name is Brick. Parentheses B.
So,
Nice.
yeah, we're doing it in our practice room right now, which is here in Kyron's house.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Can I say it or not?
You should just have a stage name, I think.
What, the
I
word
just
fuck?
need to change my name as
Yeah,
well.
he just needs to change it to Death
Yeah,
Eater.
just start saying K
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Well, it's
Hey,
kind of weird
I mean,
because like we really communicate in like on Messenger 99% of the time. Like
right.
so it's weird for you to actually like sit us down and we look at you and actually have a conversation where we all hear each other speak.
Yeah, it's like how long? It's like we've been working on your album, and I've had a call with Jeff a couple times.
Yeah, well, the only reason I've ever heard,
but it's pretty rare.
yeah, because the only reason I think I've ever actually heard you talk before was watching your YouTube videos.
Remember me and Jesse, we did that.
Oh, yeah, that's
we did that
possible,
little meeting
yeah.
thing we used, Scott. Remember that? That was like a long ass time ago.
That was.
Whenever we were doing.
What was that? I didn't hear him.
Are these mics working?
He's hearing it off the computer,
Okay.
so you gotta speak up.
Shit.
Yeah.
No, the first time that we ever like had a video chat was whenever Jesse and we kind of talked with you about, I guess, recording like fucking long ass time
I
ago.
remember that. Yep. Laying the law.
I don't know who you are, Scott. This is my first time.
Jesse
ever.
was like, okay. But I get the call going. Fuck. No, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Got everything going.
Josh, turn the AC up. Okay, maybe you can hear us better.
Yeah, we do have the little AC going over here. We're gonna cut that off real quick to see if we can kind of hear each other a little
Well,
better.
I mean, yeah, we don't have to make this into a 2-hour long situation. So if you guys get hot, turn it on. No big deal.
Okay.
I can't stay for long either, so it's midnight.
Cool. Well, yeah, like I said, you are the one and only man out of Chernobyl Studios. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do musically and producing for bands, and how you got your start and what exactly you do that makes you unique with all of your more digital side of things rather than in-person studio time?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a bit older than most people. I mean, I'm 35 now, so I'm a boomer, I guess. But this is that side of it is. So I remember the before times. Now it's like South Park. The before times. Before a lot of this metal and the music right now is pretty polished sounding, I should say. So I still basically go throwback mostly to the older sounding stuff where it sounds more, I don't know, organic, more interesting to me. So, but the main thing about what I like, or what I try to do is I mostly focus on the more extreme niches of music. So, death, grind, slam like you guys, and black metal. But I want to have it, sonically pleasing to listen to. I'm not too much of a true cultist where it's black metal, so it needs to sound like complete dog shit. Sounding like it was just recording in a tin roof cabin with it raining. Not into that. I would like to have a sonically feasible record or sound that's nice to listen to. And I don't particularly care if people get upset about it. It's my particular thing that I like to do. And then, Chernobyl Studios was just really just came out of the fact that I started to get pretty decent at doing my own type of music, and then I decided to help others with their type of music. And you guys and I have been working together for, I think it's 2 years actually, because I did one of your guys' singles pro bono, I think 2 years ago is what it was.
Yeah, because I think we had originally done that because you did like a giveaway free mix on a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And then,
it was like a promo that I was doing, which was cool for the most part. But that's how we got in contact. Yeah, I remember getting started with that. And then I did like a single. I think I did single once.
Yeah.
And then remixing it currently for the EP you guys are laying out. I don't know how much info you put out about that, so I won't say anything else that you guys don't want me to.
Well, I mean, it's not like we all the songs that are going to be on this EP we've played live, so anyone that's actually a part of our audience is probably supposed to have heard all of these songs already.
We have like 600.
Well, I mean, like with you guys working with these songs, I've been pretty rough on you actually. Like we record the guitars, we do the bass, because I just want it to sound really good. And there are a lot of good slam bands actually that have pretty cool music, but it's always the same limiting factors. Like we're a slam band, therefore we need to sound like shit, and I just don't agree with that. I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's a really.
I really like the guys with songs.
Who said that shit?
It's a weird thing within like the slam community where a lot of the underground bands, if you're not like on the world stage, then their production is terrible. But a lot of people actually like that, which I mean, there's a good handful of underground bands that I do enjoy their really homemade DIY type of sound, where it sounds like they're just live streaming live on Facebook from their amp. And sometimes it can sound cool just because it's like really noisy and grindy and grungy. But then there's also like a point where.
But most of the time it doesn't because they want to do chug a chug and then they don't have a gate on their guitar, so it's chug a chug.
Yeah.
that shit sounds fucking gross.
But it's just from me and my style where I want to have the tight sounding low end. I want it to really kick and thump and be not perfect, not like 100% polished. But I mean, what I'm doing with the drums is a little bit of, doing a lot of work to the drums. Let me just say that. But Jesse already knows that. Jesse and I have talked, and it's been more than the other thing too. Is when I work with people, it's not just like do this, do that, do this. I really want to actually help people learn how to record themselves better. So like, helping Jesse understand, hey, next time you record drums, you want to do this. Or you want to try that. Next time you go for guitar or bass, make sure you're looking at this.
Which has been like super helpful.
Time, what'd you say?
That's been like super helpful. Can you
hear me? I mean, it's supposed to be fun, right? Honestly, because when I started, it was year 2000, 2001. It still wasn't viable to really do anything at home, like unless you had a room this size with your own little mini mixer board and then a shitty Pro Tools rig and a computer. You gotta remember, there was a time when computers were bad, even the best ones.
Right.
They were really slow. We didn't have, like, I have like a 6 terabyte disk just behind it's a USB 3. That's just like space age talk if we're even just 20 years ago. And the big thing, you had these big fucking zip drives where they were like floppy disks on steroids. I think you could hold like a couple gigabytes at their height.
Oh wow.
I don't even remember anymore, but that was the big thing back then. Now your fucking phone can hold 10 times, what my first computer had as a full hard drive. So there was a time when computers just were awful for anything. So, and now it's supposed to be, because you can work in a room like that and it's not really a limiting factor. You just gotta learn how the room works. Try and experiment, try again. And, because what you can do now with just a simple microphone and some amp simulators, or, just sort of get creative with how you mic up your drums or whatever, you can get a pretty good result these days. The technology is there. Whereas when I started 20 years ago, it was still, you gotta go to a studio, you gotta be there, with a person who knows more or less what they're doing. Otherwise, it is absolute dog shit.
Right.
Full stop. There's no. So yeah, but that's supposed to be fun. So it's helpful. It's nice and fun for me to help you guys, because I hope we would work again together again later. And then obviously I would love to see the progress, both in maturation with the songwriting and then how you guys recorded it. Right. It would make my job way fucking easier, but it'll also make your guys' songwriting easier, more enjoyable. And you guys, hey, I got an idea. You can set the microphones real quick. You got some templates already set up. Everything's recorded, and then you don't forget it.
Right.
It's that easy, Jesse?
Stuff like that.
If you know what you're doing.
Like your boy.
But yeah, like we were just talking about with production-wise, especially like for slam bands, that's something that we really talked about, especially when we put out our first couple demos, where especially Jesse was really adamant, where he was like, this is the best mix that I can do, but we really should be better than this. And so that's why we had them labeled on our YouTube page as demos. But that's really kind of where we wanted to go, is instead of that, like you said, tin roof with the rain pouring down on it kind of sound. That's what we really enjoyed with what you do with our music, is give it that really, it's still like an aggressive raw type of feel, but it's also rather polished and it's really legible. All the instruments are very legible.
That sound the very best we can sound.
Right? Yeah.
Sounds like a fucking song.
Yeah. A good song.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I've really been interested in with what you do.
It does help that you are actually good musicians. You guys can...
It's like lagging.
And that's up to you guys, because you guys write the songs. I just will say right now, I'm not giving songwriting advice. If I had an idea, I might say something, but a lot of what I've contributed to what you guys do is just basically been like, yeah, you might want to re-record the guitars here, out of tune here, bass is bad, redo it. But it's me being honest with you guys, instead of saying, yeah, I'll just flub it somehow and fuck it.
Right.
And
it's a good thing.
It's a
good thing, because it makes us better.
I could do that, but I don't want to.
Was the bass bad or was the recording bad?
The recording was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, the original recording for our bass was apparently all fucked up from the way Jesse recorded it, and so he had to redo the entire thing.
I guess I spiked some places. I didn't catch it because I'm fucking stupid. But
3 days of recording.
No, see the thing with bass guitar is it's way harder to keep it
consistent.
in line. Like for example, if you're using EMG pickups like guitar, you can basically play anything you want because they're actives and they're already compressed, and it's just going to be a brick into the computer, right? If you're playing passives, you'll still have some dynamics in the wave, in the waveform. That's why you gain stage, right? In bass, it's even worse. It's just you can go from this little tiny waveform to a fucking brick, depending on how hard he would just slap it or play it. And so that's why I was into Jesse's head. Be consistent. If you're gonna play quiet, then play quietly all the time. I can compress it. But if I have this, then we have problems because I over compress, under compress. I can't limit. I literally have to do volume automation to put everything in the compressor so everything hits at the same time.
Oof.
Or you can just play the bass better.
Yeah.
Or just be good.
That's where that came from.
Just get good.
Yeah, it's like get good, but it's all a process. It's supposed to be fun. I have a lot of fun when I work on your guys' stuff. I laugh a lot actually because it's hilarious to listen to Yake's vocals and solo. Not that they're bad. It's not that they're bad. It's just funny to listen to. I mean, just imagine you're sitting there and you hear dino squeals with no context.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then, but I really also have to say I really enjoyed that you guys take time to think about your vocals too. Again, a lot of slam bands. What is it? Just one track, mono down the middle. You guys actually do pans. You're looking at I can't remember what song it was. Maybe I don't remember the name of it off my head. I just have them as pre-pros in my sessions, where you're actually coming in left, right, over on top of a scream, and you're it's a composition of vocals instead of just one main vocal layer a couple times. All right, gun, do it. We're done with vocals now.
Yeah, and that's something that me and Jesse really go in with while we record it, is because him and Kyron will send me the song, the instrumental, and I'll come up with the vocals to it. And then when we go to record it, I'll do the main vocal line, but as we go along, we'll look at each other and say, hey, we can throw this on top of that, or, it can kind of pan in this way and pan out this way, or we can do this crescendo here instead of just making it one long thing. And it's something we really do on the spot, is like the multi layers of vocals and the way we do all the different effects and everything. And, maybe I had one idea, but Josh or Kyron has a different idea, and then we do it and it sounds 10 times better. It's really... The vocals especially is really a group effort while we record it.
If we're all together, that is.
Most times it's three people are together when we're
That's cool though. I mean, the group effort and then having the idea, having the ability to record it immediately.
Yeah.
Because again, boomer time. You had to go to fucking Kmart and get one of those tape recorders with the small miniature tape. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, you put it. And then you just kind of sing the melody, or you play the guitar part real quick, and there you go. So you recorded it, but then it could be on a tape that's with 300 other ideas. So, and now on a computer you can just be like, what day is it? All right, 28 December 2020 vocal idea. Bam. And everything is actually can be even compartmentalized. Like, let's see what we had going on for blah 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 blah. And that also sets you guys apart because, there's slam bands, dime a dozen. It's just like black metal, tons of black metal bands doing the same thing, playing the same shit. And it's just like, really? Really though? Yeah. So having a difference, doing something differently, on top of having the really groovy, nice riffs that you guys have, is important.
Yeah, check them out.
I guess you could just say, we're different.
We just go hard as fuck.
Wow.
You're different.
We just go hard as fuck. Plain and simple. Wake up in the morning, piss excellence.
Yeah, we just wake up, we piss it. And then
for the first album, and then the second album, you'll be like, huh.
People are gonna hate us after that.
Oh yeah.
But the next album's gonna be like.
Next album's gonna be pop punk.
Yeah, we're definitely selling out to make some money.
This is getting ridiculous. This is
Expect
getting
that.
crazy.
It's a struggle out here.
Be expecting that.
Serious.
I know, I get on you guys a lot too about, it's not just about doing the albums, it's actually about the other side of it, which is getting promotion, getting marketing, and then getting the sale.
Right, the more business side of, putting your name out there and actually making something of it.
Which is the absolute worst part of being in a band.
Yeah, it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Are you old enough to
Having to work all the social medias and contacting people and doing all this and that and getting your name out there, and instead of, just playing a good show and then everybody knows who you are. It's just not that easy.
What you got there?
And I mean, a lot of people will be like, oh, the internet. I don't think it was ever that easy, actually. I just think that that really shit bands just didn't have a Facebook group in the 1970s.
Yeah, right. That's true. For sure.
So, I mean, there was like a comb that was the record industry, good or bad, it's not the argument I'm making, but they still were able to go like, that's dog shit, not bad, we'll check that out, dog shit. So, I mean, they did all the combing for us.
Right.
Now it's like, you have to differentiate yourself, you have to put yourself out there. Not only do you have to play a good show, it should be recorded, it should be clipped into like a half a dozen Instagram stories that you are tagging everyone, and I mean, now it's like everything that you do, it's content piece, and how can that content piece be broadcasted to whoever you would want to see it?
The
Be
art
it
of the
a record
hashtag.
label, or you're looking for an endorsement for
The
an
hashtag
amp,
has
or a
died.
guitar, or whatever. So like, hey, we exist. I mean, it's totally different now. It's like the show is like the easy part. It's like, that's not even the thing anymore. It's the promotion, the marketing, sitting down and like trying to gain contacts. I think it's always been like that, but it's both easier and harder now. Easier because you can just do it in a chair. You don't have to go to a physical venue anymore or send mailers anymore. And harder because you don't have to send mailers anymore. You don't have to go to a physical place anymore because everyone can do it. So it's like, but yeah.
This is why PR managers are so important nowadays.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yeah, Josh is our PR manager.
He's been our PR manager, but
As much as you guys can do yourself, as much as you guys can do yourself, the better it'll be. Because it's in your circle, right? The moment you introduce somebody else and you trust them, you sort of are like, you guys have experience with this. You trust them to do a good job or not screw you over. And you usually will learn way too late when you've been screwed over.
We know that all too well.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So,
Who would ever screw us over?
People shit on people.
That's
What'd you say?
for another time.
Who would ever screw us over?
No, yeah. But I mean, people shit on like Lars Ulrich for being a bad drummer, but I think his main position in that band was being the business guy. He was the one on the phones, pushing the band, getting the marketing, he was the one just like keeping the shit rolling, you know, keeping an eye on track of everything, and what are we doing, what day, why, that's bullshit, fuck that, yes, no, on the phones. And of course he also worked on the music, but I mean like that, the key driving force of the band. And it seems to be, in my experience, a lot of the best bands are kind of like that. It's either they do everything themselves, or they have a manager, but they tell the manager to suck a dick when it's not what they want to do.
Right.
Instead of the other way around, where like people sign a 360 deal and then they're like, well, slave to the system now.
Sucks to suck.
But I mean, yeah, consistency is key. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the deal. Like, I've been on YouTube for 5, going on 6 years now, and I just never stopped uploading videos. You know, and you grow slowly, but you never know when that little, it's called the hockey stick in SEO marketing, where everything just kind of goes and then whoop, looks like a hockey stick.
Oh, right.
You know, sometimes you you may get it and sometimes you won't, but I mean, you definitely got a better chance if you keep at it instead of the band who pays for ads, pays for views, and then tries to go on tour and nobody shows up,
Yeah.
which happens.
Speaking of stuff like that, something that I've been seeing a lot within our scene, how do you feel about people paying to be put on like Spotify playlists?
People are doing that?
That's a thing.
Really?
Yeah, people pay to be put on Spotify playlists.
Someone hit us up like trying to get us on their playlist, but then they were like, oh wait, you gotta pay to get on it though.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
That's
that.
where you pay somebody
That was a while ago.
$50 to get put on their Spotify playlist.
It's just the same as like it's nothing new under the sun. 20 years ago, you paid to play.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
I get
Like
it.
we paid, like my band, I played in a band in South Bend, Indiana, we played an opening gig with Megadeth, but we paid to play that gig. And we got tickets that we sold to make the money back.
Okay.
That's how that works. It's the same thing. It's just, it's different now. Is it worth it? Maybe. I have no idea. Like, you would probably have to look at the guy's playlist, what kind of bands are on there, who's actually listening to it, would it make sense? I mean, you know what I mean? And you would have to be realistic, like, okay, we're going to be on this playlist, and it's probably not going to mean anything, but it's just another place where our name would come up. You know what I mean? But it's a calculated decision, like with everything.
It's a chance.
Right. Yeah, that's just the big thing that I especially worry about, because that's the kind of people that approach me specifically. Is pay me $50 to $100 and I'll put you on this. Well, is that going to get us 100 more views or 100,000 more views? Like, your $50 isn't worth it to me to get 100 more YouTube views.
But what if it's 50?
Right, I like to turn on, but fuck it. Oh, let me actually put something bright here.
Getting darker by the second.
Oh shit.
Scott!
You're just going out.
I'm dying. No, I wasn't able to charge all my batteries in time. Come on.
You gotta get it set up like that.
I love it.
All nice
There we
and
go.
bright looking.
Well, we have the good setup in the studio with painted the lights and Josh.
Look at this
So,
guy.
but that's a pain in the ass. And like I say, and that will only, in my opinion, that will probably only get worse as you become more established, or you start becoming more like in the eye of someone who's like, ooh, these guys are sort of growing and doing things, maybe I can do something with them.
Right.
But again, a lot of that is unnecessary. Most of what you guys should just be doing is all in-house stuff. Like I said, I've talked a lot about drip feeding the material. Not because I'm against the EP, which I'm not. It would just be like, okay, now we could literally be relevant for a year. We could print 2 or 3 t-shirts, and we're always in people's faces, hey, limited run. That's how it kind of works now, because you're on Facebook, right? Just be honest, or Instagram. How many times do you actually stop and listen to a song?
I mean, I do.
Or
I do.
yeah, new album drop.
Most of the time.
I'm probably the most relevant.
Depends on who it is.
Yeah, if it's me, I'm probably not going to. If it's like a 10-minute clip or a 10-second clip, I'll probably listen. But
Well, it's
not
because
the whole
like
album.
I really do go out of my way to like listen to like, especially people that we know and we have played with, in our scene at the places we played with and the new bands we've met. They put out something new, I listen to.
Yeah, but what if it's like a random band you're stumbling across?
Well, if it's like one of those paid Facebook ads, it depends on how like it. The first
That was the
presentation,
point.
if it's one of those paid things, like I'll listen to like the first 5 seconds of it and decide whether or not I want to listen to the rest of it.
And that's like.
Alright, so there you go. You literally have 5 seconds to get people, like you put an album out, for example. 5 seconds.
Oh,
Is that realistic?
yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that. We can do that shit.
So, but if you are constantly in someone's feed, for example, just showing up constantly doing something, like it's either gonna go one of 2 ways. You're just really good at ignoring it, or you finally go, Jesus Christ, find out what is it, and then you will just click on it
That's usually how
to
it
just
happens.
yeah, or you'll block them, But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just things are so different now because you don't have the big marketing machine. If you guys had 1 million subs, you could probably drop an album because you're guaranteed to get a couple thousand sales. And if you're doing everything DIY, that's pretty decent. You can put everything back in there, get a new shirt, and just keep the machinery running, right? But being in the position that you're in right now, it's like you don't have the machine running yet. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? I talk about, and you're not the first band, and I'm not the only person. Ola talked about this years ago in a speech he did. I don't know where it was, but this was years ago. He was talking about it, and it's become even more relevant, I think, as time has gone on.
Yeah, especially now.
It doesn't
with
matter.
just
A lot of people are buying vinyl now. It's like, God,
Yeah.
dude, it's still this much of a fraction of people buy vinyl as like a vanity item. Like I have fucking cytotoxin. That's a vanity item. It's a collector's edition. How many people buy that? Very small. Very few amount of people buy it.
You got their
Most
new
of us
album?
buy the Spotify or stream it.
Is that the new cytotoxin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yo, that's a banger.
Never heard.
it's a great album.
Yeah.
It was a great
I
interview.
interviewed those guys.
Yeah, I was just saying that's a great interview you did with those guys.
Yeah, they're really cool dudes, really laid back. I mean, and that's, the thing. They're 3 albums deep, right? They're on a record label, but they also do the marketing. Just look at the bigger bands do, or like, who is always in your Instagram feed? Who's always got a story out?
Right.
Even if you're not particularly interested in what they're talking about, there's a slightly large percentage that you'll just click on it out of sheer curiosity. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing now?
Yeah, no one here wants to sign to any kind of label though, so we're out on that.
We don't have you don't have to anymore. So you don't have to anymore. But here's the unfortunate truth of the matter. Like, a song that is well composed does not have as good of a chance as being well received if it's got shitty production. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand the behind the scenes of what it takes to get a song in listening order. That's just the way it is. They literally think, songs on the radio are like not edited, all right, natural sounding.
Yeah, those guys are just that good. That was all one take, the full band on the floor live. They just did that.
What is out of
They just
Now
did that shit.
Yeah,
They
that's
do.
how they sounded. Yeah, now that did happen in the
Whenever they
60s
sing,
and
they just sound
70s,
like
and
that.
listen to those recordings.
Like the ukulele.
They're okay, they're fine for the time, and there's, there are people out there who are like, well, that was a better time,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Subjective. But I mean, if you can play the songs live that are on the album, then what's the problem? If Jesse's telling me, all right, Scott, for this part, I want you to program some MIDI notes here. This is the song's at 260 BPM, but I want to have 30-second notes here. I'll be like, first of all, you're retarded. That's gonna sound awful, first of all. And second of all, can you even play that?
Hell yeah.
Why would you want me to, so why do that?
But I mean, at the same time, there's also like projects like off the top of my head, like somebody like Infinite Annihilator, where it's like super MIDI, just absolutely ridiculous drums, where it's like I don't think any human can actually play that.
So they're all triggered, obviously, and they're
Yeah.
all at 127 MIDI velocity, which means the 100%. And it just sounds like a cannon every time the person plays. And you watch the drum playthroughs, all the mistakes are cut out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you watch the double bass. It's not even in sync at all. So Infinite Annihilator is like a meme. Alright, let's put it like that. It's one of those like guilty pleasures, like you don't want to admit you listen to Madonna, but you fucking sing Madonna when no one's looking. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
Really
That's
though,
like what
I never
Infinite-
even got into those guys.
Miley Cyrus.
Infinite Annihilator.
Yeah, I never
Miley
really
Cyrus
got.
go hard.
I never got. big.
Miley Cyrus goes hard.
Yeah, there.
She goes aye. She goes aye.
Who, Miley Cyrus?
She goes aye.
Scott, you listen to Miley
She-
Cyrus?
She has Party in the USA, and that's about it.
No,
Is it?
You don't jump on Miley Cyrus?
no.
You don't put your hands up.
No, I like 80s pop, 90s Euro dance.
Okay.
Shit I grew up listening to.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Okay. You like that
I
cybergoth?
mean,
That cybergoth. What's it called?
Yeah.
That cybergoth fucking.
What?
I don't know what it's called.
Thank you, Kyra.
like synthwave. It's literally like cyberwave, synthwave,
Synthwave,
the dark
there you
wave.
go.
Some cybergoth synthwave underground dance rave party.
Yeah. All that music's really cool, actually. Especially like the German electronic body music, good
Right.
stuff. I mean, but
Body music.
that's just me. I mean, a lot of that stuff, the poppy versions that were popular when I was a kid. It's the 90s, they were super melodic and all that shit.
No, God.
Yeah.
This guy just like faded from existence for oh my gosh. There he is.
Yeah, the last 8 words you said were just like fucking the dying Terminator on us. Oh.
The whole screen's frozen. Like, we don't even look like that no more.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're recording off the phone, so that screen's fine, but
that is true.
yeah, Scott, you're sounding like the dying Terminator as he's falling into the magma.
I did not.
What is happening? Scott?
I can hang around about, yeah, I'm here, I can hear you.
Sorry, you're just like someone say something. I don't know how to word it.
You know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they find out the answer to everything in that giant computer with the big booming electronic voice? That's what you sound like right now.
Scott.
The guy.
Yeah, we're dying.
What just happened?
You sound like synthwave right now. You sound like 80s synthwave vocals.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on. Jesse, figure it out.
Could it be a Wi-Fi issue?
Yeah.
Probably.
Here we go.
Bro, I'm gonna get off that shit right now.
Black Talker.
Yeah.
That should absolutely be a transition.
Alright,
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
cut us, Jesse. Cut us to the next part.
Scott?
Who's
Sure.
Yeah.
Is it back?
I think we're
No
fixed.
hearing.
Hey. It sounds
Yeah.
sounds better than it did.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're back.
All right. It sounds like I'm actually talking to you through a microphone now.
Oh, we're back.
Well, Jesse's close, so I
Alright.
don't know.
We're back?
Yeah.
Oh, we're just not doing the video now?
I guess not.
That sounds like doing that.
And we're back.
So what the fuck are we talking about? 80s synthwave?
Let me get the fuck
Yeah.
in this bitch.
But now I got about 5 more minutes left and be here. So if we got any other questions, we can roll through that.
You got how much longer?
5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes.
Well, 5 or 10 more minutes.
All right.
How's the EP
How
coming?
barbecued have you ever been?
No.
What's your favorite flavor of grape juice?
You got 2 shoes on your feet.
Tell us a joke.
I want to know about the fucking EP, bitches.
No, but
Fuck
yeah,
the EP.
seriously, so
Scott, delete the EP. Fuck the EP. It's over. Fucking delete it.
Oh.
It's gone. Fuck it.
I guess that's
We
what
quit.
we're doing.
Okay, scrap house over.
Quit?
Scrap pile's over. We're done.
Yeah,
Had a good run.
That's actually why we came to talk.
oh fuck that! I paid a lot of money for this shit.
Oh shit.
No, but yeah, how is it?
You guys are gonna have to start blowing him concurrently until he feels like he's been compensated.
He's gonna have to just die.
Oh, that's pretty
Jesus.
bad.
Right.
Extreme.
That's pretty bad.
Wow.
You want Jason?
But yeah, I know we've talked about before. Our type of music isn't something that you typically do. You want to tell us a little bit about how the process is of what it is you typically do and how that goes differing from what you've been doing with our music?
Yeah. So for example, a lot of the time, the bands that come in, it's just like black metal, death metal. First of all, they have programmed drums. So I usually have to go in and fix a lot of the programmed drums because, unbeknownst to a lot of these people, they don't understand that a drummer has just 2 arms and 2 legs. That's usually the first problem.
Right.
And then the second problem is that what they've written makes no sense to what's happening in the song. So I usually have to come at it as a drummer, which I am, and then like fix the composition a little bit, or I just kind of give them ideas.
How's Jesse's?
And then with
drum
black
tracks?
metal, it's a lot more about creating an atmosphere, which you may have noticed. I've tried to create an atmosphere with your guys' songs. There's a lot of reverb in it, delay tails going left and right, with your vocals, for example, stuff like that. And then sometimes the songs are just way more straightforward. It's literally drums, bass, guitars, vocals, done. You know, I've gotten EPs before where it's like very simple songs, 3 minutes, and I'm just like, that's it? That's it? Okay. We'll go like that. But also happens where sometimes, I mean, just being honest, sometimes the music isn't that great. You just kind of sit down and gotta be like, you're gonna do that? Oh, okay. All right then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but that's how it goes.
You do you, bro.
It's your song.
Yep. But I mean, I always try to, like I said, give advice. You know, there was a black metal song where I was like, hey man, I'm really hearing a particular synth line here. Let me just go ahead and put it in and see what you think of it.
Let me fix this fucking song for you guys.
Let me make your song good real quick.
We should.
And sometimes they like it and sometimes they don't. I mean, more often than not, they're like, oh dude, that's a cool idea. And then usually they'll be like, okay, well maybe we can change the instrument, but I like the melody line. But I mean, it really depends. I really just try to pay attention to the music and get the best result I can with the music that they're going for. Black metal obviously doesn't need to be super polished, but I don't want the guitars to be painful. You know, I want the mix to be full, nice to listen to, and it can still be raw, it can still be harsh, but it can be harsh in a pleasing way where it's not physically painful to listen to the damn thing.
Right.
Just white noise. With fucking.
Yeah. And with slam, you know, slam is different in that, like, there's a bunch of slam bands that I've heard of. Let's open up my, like, you know, you guys sent me the Abominable Putridity. I already knew of that band. But there's also bands like Analepsy.
Yeah.
I knew of that band. Analepsy probably, in my opinion, has some of the better sounding slam out there.
Well, the same vocalist for Abominable Putridity was in Analepsy for a while, Matty Way.
And pathology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't a bad.
And then there's a lot of Russian bands too, like Catalepsy, really hit and miss. Some really cool songs, but some of the production you're just like, what's that? So I mean,
I don't know. I know it's a
What?
pathology.
Okay.
Yeah.
what now?
No, I thought I got my thoughts crossways for a second. Continue.
But I mean, that's the main difference. And then slam, it's like, okay, we got to make sure the low end is thick, but punchy and full sounding. You know, and the guitars, which has been an interesting experience with Special K over there.
Yeah. Boy,
Yeah.
Josh.
Because we get a guitar sound that everyone likes, and then I get a message 2 weeks later going, oh, let me tell you something.
It's because my hearing is going shittier by the day.
Mood.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's been a little bit different for me because again, I mean that was a good point. Like, hey, we're kind of a slam band. The guitars sound a little bit black metal-y. It was like, okay, fair enough. I mean that's kind of what I typically do. So that's been interesting, trying to navigate around that sound because you know, like using an Orange and a Marshall. It's like, are you guys in a Doom band? What do you mean? You play
Right.
slam music.
I was in a doom phase whenever I
It's like
decided
the
on
Doom.
that head.
Just show that. Yeah, there it is.
It's not even hooked
The
up.
orange.
I'm playing out of the cube.
There you go.
Just the
But
cube.
that's the thing, and it would be cool to do more stuff like that. It's just when I did that free promo where we ended up working together, like a bunch of bands from like Indonesia and shit messaged me, and that's the kind of stuff where I was just like,
Indonesian bands, some of them go hard.
Yeah, sometimes you'll find a diamond in the rough there.
Yo,
They're all
Indonesian
into
artists.
this shit
I'm
out
finding
there.
it didn't find any when I did my mixes.
The dude who did our logo and like our
No.
art is from Indonesia.
To be fair, actually, there were a couple that were pretty cool and catchy, but it's just like I unfortunately just can't work with a lot of those bands because due to the economic reasons. You know, it's like, oh, Scott, you're in Ukraine, and it's like I understand that, but I mean, I still have bills to pay.
Right.
Things to
Yeah.
do. You know, I mean, I can't be mixing songs for that kind of a rate. That's silly. You know, and I'm sorry that you're in that location, and I would really like to help you, but there's a difference here. Like what you're paying me is a lot for you, doesn't even pay my bills here. There's just
Right.
a certain threshold that I have to have. And
We'll
you know,
have to
which
do
is
that.
unfortunate because, like you said, there are some Indonesian bands where you're like, God damn, wow, you know,
What you got there?
crushing it.
Fucking Michelob Ultra.
Are you old enough to drink that?
I'm 21.
Michelobs are
Leave me
fucking
alone.
gross.
Barely.
Leave the guy alone. He's just having a water. God.
He's drinking
Having a
Bud
cat
Light.
Is it carbonite?
Fucking water.
Oh god.
Coffee boys over
Coffee,
here.
I'm
Yeah.
finna be shitting y'all's guts out.
My
like
coffee sucks
30
ass,
minutes.
though.
I've had to shit this whole time.
That's
Classic.
you all the time.
Oh
Absolute
god.
classic.
I want to ask Scott how he feels about just us as a band, as music, like personally.
I really like the music a lot.
I think he wants to suck
Like, I-
dicks.
What do you think of Vertex?
Vertex been in from shit. He doesn't know the song names, I don't think.
The
The
gym
gym
I-
song.
The Vertex. I don't remember it.
It's the Genty song.
The Chugga Chug.
The Genty song. Chugga Chug?
It's the-
No, because we did Unnamed, and then I did Husk, and then I don't remember. They're all just in a row because I did all the drums. I'm working on the drums right now. Actually, I want to kind of surprise it with something a little bit later. I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Shut up.
Don't be making noises like that.
No, it's that song that
Um,
has the that it tunes down that we
The-
need to.
The real stupid low one.
You might not have gotten to it yet.
Maybe he hasn't.
No.
Yeah.
But I really liked the beginning of the EP is going to be funny.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Austin.
That's my brother.
That's funny. That's
Shout out
that's
to
what I mean. Like when I'm
Oh,
mixing
yeah.
the music, sometimes what happens is like if I'm not too particular about the song, like I'm really laser focused. I just mix it and done. What ends up happening with you fucks is I actually will listen to it, and then I'll just start like listening to it. Like, oh, that's a good part. Yeah, I'll forget what I'm doing because I'm just enjoying the song.
Yeah.
So it's really good music. I really enjoy it. That's why I'm sort of like on your guys' assholes about being more consistent with posting,
Right.
doing stuff, because I really like the music a
That's
lot.
this guy. That's the guy.
Shows are one thing, but you gotta, when you're not doing a show, you're working as well.
Right, for sure. That's something we really appreciate to be working with you, is that, you really do want us to sound good, and we love working with you for that, because we know we're in good hands, that we're going to sound good, because even if we send you something that's shitty, you're going to come back right at us and say, fuck that, do it again.
Well, there's yes, I do want you guys to sound good. And of course, it always comes back to me, like, who makes that Chernobyl Studios? Man, that sounds good. Now imagine,
Yeah, of course.
Whatever job you're doing, right? You're working at Caterpillar, right? Whatever you're doing, and maybe you do a shit job, but you gotta sign your name on it.
Hater killer.
And it'll come back to you eventually, be it in 6 months, 2 years. Someone's gonna see that receipt and go, "What the fuck was that?"
Right.
And you'll have to answer for it in some form or another. Or it could be like, I was gonna give this guy a raise, but he does this shit behind my back. No, I'm not doing that now. So with everything that I want to put out, I personally want to be happy with the result. If I can get you to re-record it, I will stay and re-record it. And my feelings don't get hurt because I think what happens is just like people just take the money, they just throw it in like Easy Drummer, and then you get a mediocre result. Like, yes, the drums are edited, we've done some trickery on them, but the overheads are real, the cymbals are real. You're gonna hear Jesse play.
Yeah.
Right.
It's there. I don't edit the guitars except for the silences to make sure that the gate is really nice and tight. But that's more of a compositional thing because you'll be playing and then everything goes silent and then it hits again. It's way harder. But I'm not like editing the transients to be on the grid. I don't do that. So what you hear on the record is what you played.
Right.
The only thing, most of the work has basically been on the drums and vocals. I literally don't even touch. I just cut the part where you're not singing, so visually I understand where the parts are in the mix. Don't even fucking touch it.
I'm just that good, bro.
Don't blow his fucking head up like that.
Toot my horn a little more.
No.
but it also comes down to you guys as musicians being really conscious of wanting to do a good job as well. I have gotten projects of real drums where it's like it's not even close to the grid. And the guy's like, just edit it. I'm like, you don't understand. These are so poorly played that I can't even edit them.
Jesus.
Fathom that.
Oh god.
Like, it would be way faster for me to just get MIDI points from them and turn it all into MIDI. But then you have the overhead problem with the cymbals. So it's
Right.
you know.
People who just don't really care.
You know, next time you guys record drums, I absolutely will be, will be actually like pissed off after I kind of get the same kind of drums that Jesse sent the first time. I'll be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck
I
happened,
waste all
Jesse?
my breath. You know what I mean? I want to see an improvement. But yeah.
Drums are hard to record.
What
They're hard to
we,
record.
we definitely look to get better and better each time we work with you, and we'll hopefully definitely
Just
be working
record a
with
lot.
you with our next release and all our next singles and everything. So hopefully everything goes well, and this EP is gonna fucking smack. And I know we've had a lot of trouble with getting this out. We've been talking about it for almost an entire year now, and we're gonna get it out as soon as we can. Get some merch going. Hopefully we can do more and more shows. And
Well, like I say, it's always better to I don't know how much you guys have said, but I mean, whenever this EP comes out, obviously it should be timed strategically. Don't release the MP. Don't release the EP and then try to get t-shirts printed.
Right.
T-shirts should be printed. Maybe have a couple CDs for those who actually would fucking buy them. Although, like, why? Hats, snapbacks. Just sort of look at what people are wearing in the scene, like what people want, and you can basically get an item for every level of person. Like get a sticker for people who can't really afford to get a shirt. Do a bundle of a sticker and a shirt. Do a bundle of a sticker and a shirt and a hoodie. Have a hoodie. I mean, this is stuff that you got to think about beforehand. When the EP would drop, which would hopefully happen during a show, which you have been marketing for a couple of weeks. I mean, it takes time, right? So when this is done, and then you have the product, and then it's like, okay, what do we do now? I mean, what show are we gonna release it? How are we gonna do this? And then after the show is released, hopefully you recorded it with not a potato. I will say this, like if most people, I know most people are on their phones, right? So if I'm on Facebook on my phone, which I never am, all right, and you post a video that's horizontal or upside down, on my phone I can just be like that, no big deal. But on my computer, I can't fucking turn my screen upside down, right? So you gotta kind of keep that in mind.
We just have that.
So stuff is. It's almost like a pain in the ass. Like everything you think of just brings on another challenge. But that's the difference. Most people are not going to do anything about it, and the serious people will. And then you have the goal, and you got to keep working towards whatever that goal is. Just keep it there, in your mind. Like here's what's going to happen. Here's what we're going to do. Everyone should have a role in the band, even if their role is to not say or touch anything.
Who's that? Which one? Me.
You.
Mr. PR manager?
That's right, PR manager.
I won't
That's
do
you.
it then. I won't fucking do it.
Yeah, you're the PR manager. You just said it.
I didn't do that. I did not do that.
It's official now.
Yeah, Josh, the PR manager. Hell yeah. Knew you were good for something.
Try and be nice. Try and be leaders in what you're doing. So if you guys are in the scene and you're getting a little bit of, exposure, or you're getting up there, pass it on to a band who's just up and coming that you think deserves it. Be leaders like that, but also you got to be smart business-wise. This is a business. You can't be giving away free T-shirts to your friends. If they support you and your band, they will buy it.
Now, speaking of that,
Right.
Scott, the round of T-shirts that we did, I'm the only one in the band that doesn't have a T-shirt.
Why did you fucking
I don't
get
have a
one?
scrap. Everybody else got a scrap pile T-shirt except for me.
Just grab one,
Whose
bro.
I didn't
fault
get
is
either.
that?
Oh, yours is still shipping, Sky.
Yeah, COVID and everything that fucked up all the shipping
Yeah.
overseas.
You know the commies.
Still shipping.
They probably took your shit, bro.
It's still in processing.
Yeah, right. Some guy at the JFK International Airport looking at all the a scrap pile shirt. Well, fuck, that's mine.
This is vintage right here.
Taking it.
But just, dude, guys, take it seriously. Have fun, obviously. But I mean, it's hard to say that. Having fun. Like, have fun when you play a show. But
Show tattoos.
it's always business. That's a band.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, this EP is gonna be awesome. It's gonna sound good. I know people will like it. You'll definitely stand out amongst your peers with some really good sounding stuff.
Yeah.
I certainly hope anyway. And yeah, so it's I'm very proud to be working on your guys' stuff, and I love having your songs on my mix reel. It's really cool. I really like it, and I look forward to throwing some new ones up on my mix reel after this EP is done.
For sure, man. We appreciate all your knowledge and all the hard work you're doing for us, and all the feedback you give us on how to do better in the future with everything you know how to do that we particularly don't. And I know you and Jesse talk a lot about that stuff. He's mostly our DIY engineer here when you and him work together. But we all do appreciate everything you do for us. It's gonna sound great. I know it is. We love your work. We love everything you do.
Appreciate it.
And
I know I ripped on you guys for like taking 2 weeks to get the guitar sound.
Oh,
But on the other side of it, it is nice that you are willing to say to me, I don't like it.
right.
Because that's also important, Because if everything's always awesome, I mean that's cool, but then there will be a point where you won't like it, and you'll almost feel bad saying, "Well, I don't really like it." So the communication has been awesome on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to get to know you guys. They're all funny. The Facebook chat is always a riot.
We don't need to go
You
there.
gotta get the new bass player in there so I can make fun of him.
I think
he's in
he
there.
might be,
He's
but
in
he just
there.
doesn't talk much.
He's in there.
He's in there.
Yeah.
He vibing.
He doesn't talk. I didn't realize there could be a person who talks less than Special K.
Mr. Special K.
That's KJ's rap name.
That's KJ's
Yeah,
rap name. One of many.
Shout out to Special K.
We got another buddy of ours. That's what we call him.
Special K.
Shit.
That's his rap name.
Yeah, you got to come up with something else.
Master K.
Master K. There you go. Caught you fast.
I can't believe you never came up with that.
Yeah, honestly. But
Master K.
Master K. That's
Yeah,
pretty
they-
good.
We can all
They
do.
call me Master K.
And like every day he'll just come to school. Yeah, they call me this now.
Yeah, they call
We
me
can also
Wall.
do. You can also do like Flaccid K.
He said, oh. That would be Josh over here.
Oh,
I don't even have a K in my name.
Flaccid J.
Bitch.
Flaccid K.
Let's call him FJ.
Oh god.
What's up, FJ?
That's funny.
My boy trying to get an FJ.
That's funny shit. Awesome.
I hate you.
So I'm gonna get rolling here, guys. Dude, I'm absolutely happy to finally be on this fucking thing after how many months of trying to get you guys to take responsibility.
Yeah, what up? Nothing recorded.
Flaccid K's like, well, that's Jesse's thing. Jesse's like, well, that's Flaccid K's thing. Jake's like, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
I was literally waiting on y'all. Literally waiting on
Well,
y'all.
well, dude, we'll have to do it again after the EP drops and after we do all that, so we can, get a little more in depth into it,
Everything will be set up better too.
Absolutely.
and we'll be more prepared next time.
Yep. Well, I will be showing some more of your guys' stuff on my YouTube channel because of the things that I'm doing with the drum.
Nice.
Okay,
So,
yeah, cool, dude.
Yeah. We're doing more stuff there.
Nice. Looking
But,
forward to that.
yeah.
All right, well, yeah, we'll have links to your YouTube page and your Facebook and all that here in the description of this video. This is Scott Elliot with Chernobyl Studios.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Play us out, guys.
Yeah.
That was so Peace out, Scott.
I want, Jesse, I want you to record a couple of those riffs for me, and I want you to get like a super hardcore Bill and Ted version. I want you to get just a cheesy 80s version. I want a couple of just diminished sweeps. 'Cause I think it would be funny to have those as transitions in my videos.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
It's like, well, hey, it's like, hey, it's Scott from Chernobyl Studios. Today we're gonna talk about blah blah blah. Let's get into the session. That's perfect. Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. It could be my Christmas present from you guys.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
We'll get
good.
on that.
Awesome.
All right,
Super.
thanks,
I'm gonna
Scott.
stop recording then.
Alright.
Peace. All right. See you later, Scott.
All right, man. I'll get this on Google and I'll send it to you.
Bet.
Cool.